or practice. There is a school of thought, I don't know you agree or not. Everything is predetermined. If that school of thought is you are agreeing, this effort is also predetermined. Am I right or no?
Right. It is nice subject, and let me come to this. Many here may have the understanding of this precognition. Things are, people can see the future also, so it must be fixed. We use the model of a film. Say there is a film. We use the language today, drama, theatre, and the actors. But let us take the example of the film. 1 hour film. A family goes to watch the film. Children, adults, they are watching the film. What is happening on the screen is fixed. No one can change it. But how children are reacting to that film, that is not part of the film. That is not fixed. Understand, no? And one child is crying because there is a dragon on the screen. Then mother explains to him, and then he doesn't cry. He finds it amusing. So there is change is possible in the audience, how they observe and how they interpret. Same here. There is a film going on, but the audience, invisible traveler is the invisible witness, he is the audience of this film. He has the option to see this whole thing in wisdom or in ignorance. Just like child is watching the film in ignorance and crying. When he is sensible, he is enjoying it. That option is there in adults also. Maybe more difficult questions to Bobby afterwards. Any other thoughts?
My one question is, does the soul try to communicate with us through dreams? Because that is also something which is very common in scriptures, where someone has been communicated through dreams. So
yeah, that is a very common thing. Even in the Ian Stevenson's work, the announcing dream is one thing he speaks about. The person who is deceased come in the dreams of the mother, future mother, and tells him that I am going to be born to you. And in time the child is born and the child remembers. That's why those cases are remembered, or Ian Stevenson is studying them. But he uses the word announcing dream. So that communication through dream, that is a known phenomena. Another case also studied by Peter Fenwick. Peter Fenwick is a brain specialist and he studied this case. And mother was in Australia and son in London. And mother gets a dream in which she sees the son coming to her, but all wet. He is drenched with water, and telling her that I'm okay. That's all. I'm okay. Don't worry about me. And that is what she gets a dream. And then she wakes up and she says, and at some point during the day, she makes a point to ring the son and learns that at the same time he had drowned and died. When she got the dream, that is the time he had died. But he died drowning. And that symbolism, she gets the dream where she sees him wet. That symbolism was there. But this is not a rare thing, very, very common. Communication that happens through the dream, medium of dream, and there is a prophetic nature in it. Some symbolisms are also used in it. It appears sometimes as if there is a AI used, in making this something, very interesting. They want to give a message, but there is a little bit of a deep mind, creativity involved in it. Someone else?
Yeah, hello. Even they cannot, make me in the jail, because, this guy killed in the last life, so I can kill him.
Yeah.
So such things is, how can we prove or convince others regarding this kind of...
First thing to know is that there is a history, like say someone killed, but we don't know the history beyond that. Further back, we might have already done some problem to him in the history before. So best is to put a full stop. Spiritual position is we put a full stop. We remain busy planting the good seeds, not to get caught into justice has its own law. Things will come to each one by its own law. I don't need to become the judge. I am busy sowing the good seeds, means create the best actions that is possible for you, that is possible for us, and then it will have a positive fruit for the future. I don't go to, then I am wasting my time. But in this one very interesting case in Syria, and this was a media case, one 8-year-old boy complained to the police that such and such a person killed him in the earlier life. You heard this case? Anyone heard this case? It's the media case. You heard it? So someone killed, he told the name of the person who killed him in the earlier life. He also told the police where the weapon is hidden and where the body is hidden. Police find the weapon, police find the body, they find the fingerprints. The accused confessed to the crime. Accused is convicted in court. The whole thing happened based upon the information from a reincarnated child. And it is to the complete satisfaction of the judiciary. So that is allowed. To go to the police is okay. We don't need to go any further. We don't need to go to beat the other person. We'll create some time to experience some of the areas we are referring to. And in this case, let us create just 1 minute now. And during this minute, we come to that supreme sky, that is our home, invisible home, and we experience it with the concentration. That's the only practice. And nothing will come to a halt here. Life will continue. I don't need to think of anything else. For 1 minute, we are coming to that region of light. We see it in gentle color, gentle red color. More like a focus. It can be, we can practice it with eyes open or eyes closed, but the aim is full concentration for 1 minute, starting from now. Region beyond, region of light and color. Thank you. This is such a simple practice. Again, create this minutes, and if you do it Just with concentration for 1 minute, you will notice a shift within yourself. You will notice the shift in consciousness in 1 minute time. And that intoxication will remain for another maybe 10 minutes or 20 minutes. You are just more efficient for the next 10 minutes. For the next few minutes, we are going to experiment 4 steps and 4 minutes or maybe longer. Step 0 is posture. And step 0 is also not multitasking. Even at home when you are doing it, no multitasking. And definitely turn the telephone off. Whenever there is step 0 over here or at home, see that you are not disturbed at least during that minute. Nothing will come to halt. Things will continue. Nothing. So step 0 is the posture. Step 1, we are just reminding the bigger map, that's all. It is not a deep practice, deep meditation, just reminding. We call it a realization. And in this reminding, we are saying this is the journey of the invisible player. And this invisible player, he is immortal, and he has a home, and he has a great family. His truth is noble and divine. Everything is positive. His world is positive. There is no reason for even desire or desperation. That is step 1. He also knows that right now the ego is the king of his mind and life, and to bring the soul into consciousness, he has to create the environment, right environment for this. Environment of the home totally favors the soul. The environment of the drama favors the ego. He chooses to direct his attention towards the home. That is step 2. It is the attention. Attention is directed to the home. Step 3, we call it engagement. So during this time, he is in the home, immersed in that experience, engaged. Sign of engagement, there will be no other thoughts during that minute. And step 4, this environment of the home helps the true self to become conscious. And for the true self, it is normal to be immortal, normal to belong to that sky. So it is a shift in the consciousness. 4 steps, we move from ego to the soul. So we'll start again. We'll come back to was the orientation, what we are going to do in these 4 steps. So we come back to step 0 again. 0 is just checking our posture, our time here, and we said no multitasking. So you are creating time for yourself. That is step 0. Step 1, we are reminding the bigger map. We are reminding that this is the journey of the invisible traveler. Invisible traveler is the invisible observer. He is very, very lucky. He is immortal. He belongs to that home, eternal sky. He belongs to that great family. He is beyond harm. Nothing can harm him. The story cannot harm anyone. So this is step 1. Step 2 is attention. We are directing our attention to that supreme home, sky. This is the region beyond, expanse of light. This world is eternal, world of silence, world of stillness. We are staying in this experience of the light of this sky and the color of this world. Step 3 is engagement. Means we are in that sky. We are in that light. For us, this region is our home. We see the reality of it. We see that this is the main one, and this is eternal. This is not just a meditation experience. We see the reality of this world. We understand this is the main one. The rest all is a story. This is the main world. And this is eternal. This exists forever. Step 3 is the engagement. Step 4 is awakening. In this environment of this supreme sky, environment where we are seeing this region of light, the true self becomes conscious. And for the true self, it is normal to be a point, conscious and living, tiny point. It is normal to be the presence, normal to be the invisible observer, normal to be immortal. Normal to belong to the sky. Normal to be so independent from the story. As we continue on our journey in the sky and on earth, we remain aware of the immensely beautiful truth of the invisible traveler. Thank you. I want to ask, Bobby, it will be nice if you can come and share some thoughts, and also good chance to ask difficult questions. We promised you opportunity to ask difficult questions.
I think, they were very interesting questions. It was a very participative interaction that we had, and thank you everyone for your valuable questions and contributions. Yesterday we were in a couple of IT companies, and the CEO of one of the company was asking the same questions, something similar. They were saying, this box of P, I am determined by the success in this box, success, what does success really mean? And I need to deal with the P. So how can I be in that consciousness? Because success is determined by all these P, by how much profits I make, how much is my share price, etc., etc. And another head of HR of another company, she asked, how can we actually meditate? What is meditation? So very similar to some of the questions which many people were asking today. And I think, many people might have practiced Hatha Yoga, which is yoga of the various parts of the body. But what Prashanth was trying to give an exposure is the yoga for the mind. Because we are so stuck, none of us, especially when I started, it's so difficult to deal with silence. Because when we are trying to be silent, all those identities which Prashanth talked about, all the egos, are always trying for the attention, for our attention. And many of the egos have various desires. There could be, what are the egos? There are the various roles that I do, the body, anything that I am identifying with. It could be even a simple thing like my opinion, my handwriting, what I believe that is the right way to do things. They're all things which I have attached to. And I create those expectations. And what happens when those expectations are not met, or there is uncertainty in those expectations being met, I create the emotions of anxiety, stress, etc. And when I'm blaming somebody for those expectations not being met, I create emotions of anger, hatred. And as Prashanth said, when I'm not able to blame anyone, then I start blaming myself, and that's the root cause of my depression. So just as the video we saw earlier this afternoon, we are all so busy like the insect who is on the pig trying to create more and more territory. Something like the CEO who asked us yesterday, I'm driven by profit margins, I'm driven by employee satisfaction, I'm driven by all these P, whether the P could be my employees, P could be the people within my family, people, relationships, or professions, because I need to feel secure, I need to have more. I need approval or acceptance or appreciation from people. So these are aspects which is considered very natural. But to feel, and this is all reasons why we feel insecure. When any of those desires are not being met, we feel insecure. To be in that secure space, you need to experiment. You need to make the jump. If we try and be like that insect who's trying to create more and more territories, we will always remain in the mud. So to be that, to fly and experiment like the eagle, we need to try and start with that simple 1 minute. And there, when you feel, your experience is the biggest proof. In Bhagavad Gita, you say, meditation is skill in action. What is the skill? It's the skill learning to manage our inner kingdom, our mind. And for that, we need to start with that 1 minute. I have various, alarms going off in my mobile every time. Even if we are able to create that micro experiences of that supreme region, which Prashanth was trying to take us to, and experience that space, that is when we start experiencing that deep peace, deep silence. And when we start experience, that experience is our proof. Because we are dealing with the non-physical world. Science is always dealing with things that can be perceived by the sense organs. This we have to see through the mind's eye. Our experience is the proof. So I would request all of you to experiment and experience. And when you experience, that's the best proof that we can have. The more we experience, the more we would want to stay in that region. More we experience peace. More we experience focused concentration. More we experience not blaming people for the way I feel. Not being the victim, not being the slave. When we are blaming somebody for the way you are feeling, you are being a slave. And you are making the other person the master, although you may think differently. You are actually a slave, actually a victim. So to come out of that consciousness, you have to experience, you have to experiment, and try starting with that 1 minute. And I'm sure it will be a great experience. Raj Yoga is all about that. I think Brahma Kumaris' approach towards meditation is that, learning to teach the mind what to think and how to think. And thereby you learn to control your mind, your subtle organs, and your sense organs as well. Thank you. If you have any questions, please, you may ask. Because I'm a householder, I'm a professional, I'm not somebody who stays in the center. I came into this journey 5 years back, and I can say the last 4 years have been the most I have experienced contentment. I'm not running after positions or any of those things, and I'm speaking purely from my experience. My experience is the proof. Although my dad here may not agree with me, he was sleeping most of the time, but it's difficult for people to, so unless you experiment and experience, you will not be able to understand what Prashanth's speaking and what we are all trying to convey today. Thank you. If anyone wants to share their experience, Prashanth's asking. Would anyone want to share any of your experiences? Yeah, please.
Thank you very much for your wonderful presentation of stress management and everything. See, according to me, I think, see, you have already mentioned about Bhagavad Gita and all that. That wonderful line itself, Karmanyeva adhikaraste mabaleshu kadajana, means do your duty without aspiring for the returns. I think that would be the crux of this portion as well as the days to come. So thank you very much, and we are indebted.
Anyone else would like to share? Yes, Sister Minnie has suggested 4 because they wanted to share some. Wanted to end by 4.
Okay, so we are coming towards the conclusion, and I request Dr. Soumya from Attingal, please come forward, sister, for the vote of thanks. Yeah, sure.
So, respected Prashanth sir and dear brothers and sisters, so it's a very joyful day for me, and what I experienced, I wrote in few lines, the stepwise analysis of the meditation. So how we analyzed it in different steps, 0, 1, 2, 3. So reaching the higher levels, the ascent and the descent. So let me share those lines with you. So what I imagined is it's almost evening. So in my mind, it's almost late evening. It's twilight. The day wets the night. The mighty painter starts pouring out millions of colors, silver, golden, crimson, red. The serenity of Sandhya Bhasha, its grammar of transformation and generation, its diminishing notes, Om. The moments of divine ecstasy, truth, eternity, and beauty, the inseparable aspects of Almighty in and around. Energy flows equally in my left and right. All egos unveil and sublimate. Vanishes the whirlpool of miseries, and heart becomes a multicolored spectrum that emanates the abiding bliss within. The subtler levels of beauty penetrates deep in my soul. Words fail to roll down from my lips. Only my heart speaks. This is the land of Lord. I am in a trance, and I sink spontaneously into silence. Thank you so much.
That was beautiful, sister. Thank you so much. And for her efforts, the applause was less. Maybe we can do once again. Okay, Dr. Soumya, please come forward.
Om Shanti.
this in the beginning when my sister has dated us, she was started with Om Shanti, so I am replicating the same. Today, without any expectation, as Sir told, we came here for watching the game of life. So I think he has taken from that initial portion, has told that there is an unexpected flight is flying over, no? So he has taken us, all of us, into that flight, and he has taken us to the different world, like primary world, secondary world, and he has safely landed us back to this secondary world, giving some glimpses of the primary world. As Bobby sir told, we are recognizing, or I am recognizing, we all are busy in sex. We are busy in making our own territories inside the mud. But as an eagle, he gave us some hints, and moreover that some glimpses of that primary world, and we should be always in remembrance the pure consciousness or the soul consciousness for that wonderful experience. And I would add one more thing, that would have been completed without the icing on the cake, that is the experience that he gave us in the end. As ma'am told, it comprises of 4 steps which was clearly depicted, or we can clearly replicate in our day-to-day life, even for 1 minute every day. For all those, I would like to thank you from bottom of my heart, from my words, and also from all the participants. Thank you so much. And also I would like to thank you, Brahma Kumaris, for coordinating such a wonderful event, and we are expecting more events like this in future too. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Dr. Soumya. And you might have noticed the literature area there. We have our brothers' books also, like Making Sense or In Search of Truth, All the World is a Stage, etc. And we also have Sister Shivani's books, and also the other meditation books or explanations on meditation and other aspects. If you wish to buy, you can. In case you feel the amount is high, you can tell sister, okay? That is separate part. All right. Now I request sister, please come. And once sister gives you her thoughts, we will have a picture, a group photo, and then obviously you have gifts also here, and then tea and snacks, okay? So that's how we conclude the program. Now I hand over the microphone to sister.